Hey guys, my name is Fahd Dawood. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I talk about Dubai real estate, your life, your path to financial freedom, your path to surviving the current situation in the world. Look, a little bit about me. I've been involved in real estate for 14 years internationally. Born and raised in Dubai, I spent about 7 years in Toronto. And in 2008, right before the global financial crisis, I started a company, real estate company in Dubai. And then I went ahead and got married in August 2008 and came back with the full force of the global financial crisis hitting me head on. I think I'm in a good position to help you navigate this rough patch that all of us are going through, right? Even if you're not currently hurting economically, just the fact that you need to be staying at home with your kids and your wife who've been at home all day long, perhaps, I'm specifically speaking about Dubai. People are starting to get onto each other's nerves and stuff like that. But hey, listen, you specifically as the man or the woman in the household need to provide leadership to others around you, right? And you can do that in two ways. Number one, seek the leader within you, okay? We all have a leader within us that we can access and bring him out or her out in certain situations, or go and seek leadership from others and learn from them and come back and apply those principles into your own life. For instance, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed said that, look, the world community is coming together. We're going to come out of this stronger. I'll tell you a little bit about my story. The global financial crisis, before it started in 2008, I had invested with my partner about $500,000 dirhams in the Dubai real estate. These were my first two transactions where on one I made money, on the other I completely lost money. So it was a bitter experience, but imagine going into the global financial crisis, having lost $500,000 dirhams. That's about $150,000, $200,000, right? And then my partner, he had to move back to the US. Now, yesterday I was sitting with my brother and I said, it's kind of interesting because then I had to close my company, didn't have a job, continued doing real estate, looking for a job to make some money and support my wife, etc. But I was talking to my brother, who at that time was working in Dubai in oil and gas. And I looked at him and I said, you weren't jobless. You were not jobless during the 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12 crisis. Your company did cut back, right? I think they stopped paying your toll fees on the Dubai roads. And he said, no, they didn't. The maximum his company did, essentially, if I remember correctly, he was working with a British multi-billion pound company based in Dubai that supplied to the oil and gas industry, factory parts and stuff like that. The maximum they did was tell all their top executives like the CEO, the CFO, CMO, etc. locally, they said, look, we've been paying about $100,000 for you per year for you to stay in this luxury villa, but we've heard that prices in other places have gone down for similar properties, so we need you to either negotiate and bring that from $100,000 down to $75,000, or you move. Well, woohoo, that's not really that bad. But what I was telling my brother is, look, the fact that you didn't face the crisis, perhaps you're not in the best situation to face the current situation. But because I faced it and I lived through it, a year and a half, almost 2 years without proper income, I had to scrape, struggle, hustle. A friend of mine was at my place some days ago and asking me the same thing. How did you manage? Well, you managed. Sometimes they say necessity is the mother of invention. The best comes out of you in some hard situations. But listen, you don't need to get to that hard situation for you to react now, to get prepared and come out on top onto the other side. Look, I'm going to talk to you about a couple of points and I'm going to say something again and again and again. The mind decides the future, and your mind shall decide your future. So for everybody right now who feels the need to be on WhatsApp or whatever app that you're using, or Facebook or the local news, look, I'm not saying shut your mind to the local news. Hey, listen, get involved, stay abreast, know what's happening. However, there is no need for you to spread news about this situation that we're in right now. There is no need for, unless it's really pertinent and really helpful, there's no need for you to go and do a PhD in this. What matters is your situation. Take the news that you need to protect yourself and your family, and then focus on things that are going to help you grow yourself. Because here's the thing, there's something called the law of attraction. Okay, what you think, a law of attraction is simply, it's a magnificent, super sexy way of saying what you think about is what you will get. What you think about is what you will get. And it's even very logically, for those who might not believe in the law of attraction, it's very logically easy to understand. Look, what you think about or where your thoughts lay is where your mind focuses. And what your mind focuses on is what you start getting into your hand, into your life. This is simply explained in a different way. In one of the ways I explain it is, have you ever been on the road, perhaps you bought a new car, and all of a sudden you start seeing everybody else has the same car, perhaps the same color? It's because your mind has been focusing on your brand new car, right? So you start focusing and finding other cars that are similar, brand, make, model, color, etc., so on and so forth. Similarly, when you start focusing with a laser focus on a particular opportunity, let's say you're in Pakistan, India, Dubai, looking at this video, and you want to move to Canada, for instance. I'm giving you an example. Your mind is going to start not attracting, but noticing those opportunities that will get you closer to your goal, okay? That's how it's simple. Those opportunities were always there. You just weren't paying attention. So the main thing I'm going to say is, look, number one, stop paying attention to all this negativity around you. Do the minimum that you must to stay abreast of news that's critical for you, but the rest of it, just outsource it to your friends. Let them handle it. You focus on yourself. Number one, you're either still in a job, which I'm glad for you, I'm happy for you, congratulations. Number two, you're not in a job. In both cases, you need to invest in yourself. Right now is the time for you to start reading those books that you haven't been reading. I don't have a list to give you right now, but the one book I always recommend is Rich Dad Poor Dad. Everybody should read to get themselves financially educated. If you've got a certain slush fund, some cash, save it by all means, but put it into assets that are going to generate cash flow for you. I'm telling you, I'm guaranteeing you, the dip that's going to be coming or might come is going to be an excellent time to deploy that cash for positive cash flow coming back to you. Some people say, hey, property prices are going down to 2010 levels. Hey, did you know that 2010 levels, investors who invested at that time made a lot of money by 2012, 13. In just 2 years, you could pay your college tuition for your kids, right? But all that said and done, guys, the way to deal with this is, the way I dealt with this is, and I made a lot of mistakes because I started wallowing on the news that the economy is bad. It's never the economy, it's always you. So it's about what you're doing. It's not what the economy is doing. So now, regardless of what the current situation is, you need to take score and settle score with yourself. If you have a job, you need to start getting and making yourself so unexpendable, so critical to the business to make sure that you stay in a job. If you don't have a job, or if you're on the edge or teetering on the edge of getting fired, listen, you need to be starting to pay attention on how you can bring value, right? So I'll give you two examples of two of my staff, okay? One of them, I gave them some work to do, and I allow them the free will to prioritize. If I don't tell them it's urgent, I tell them, look, you don't need to do it immediately. And I told them, look, I wanted this done. I just reminded them today, and then they said, look, well, we'll do it on Saturday. I was thinking of doing it on Saturday, but this person ended up doing it today, right? I was just reminding, like, did you remember that I asked you to do this? And they said, yeah, we'd already scheduled it for Saturday, but they ended up doing today. Whereas I've got some other people, right? Nothing bad, they're good workers, but because things are slow, because everybody's adjusting to new realities, I haven't even heard about them. You need to now start thinking, how do I add value? How do I add value for free? For free! Go to people and start adding value for free and tell them, look, this is the plan I've come up with to address the current situation and how we can get some cash flow in and how we can adjust to the current reality. Look, I'm telling you, it's very, 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 very critical for you to adjust to the current situation super fast, but get out of it and don't focus on the negative news that's coming out. Focus on things that you need to be doing to stay ahead of the game and coming out a winner. Look, hit the subscribe button, press the bell icon. I've done this. I've lived through the global financial crisis. I just got married. My company had to be closed down at that time. I had to go back into the job market. Hey, listen, made me a tougher person, made me in a better position. I pray to Allah to make it easier for everybody to go through this. Get ready, get on your toes. It's not the end of the world. Crisis is part of it. It's part of life. And I remember His Highness Sheikh Mohammed during the last 2008-2009 crisis. I can't quote him, but paraphrase him. He got all the government leaders together, and we were all waiting to hear what is he going to say. You know what he said to them? He said, listen, this time of crisis, right? The global financial crisis, which everybody termed that humanity is never going to recover because it's the worst that they've said. This time of crisis is what leaders are made for. This is the time you gotta stand up. Like, leadership's very easy and hunky-dory when everything's fine and everything's perfect. It's when the crisis hits that leaders stand up and make things count for themselves and for the people that they're leading. You are responsible. So if you are not a CEO of a company, but you're in a job, but there are dependents like your wife, like your children, who depend on you to be a man, to go out there, to think strategically how to come ahead of the situation instead of becoming scared. People are depending on you. You need to stand up. And if there's nobody in your life who's married to you, dependent on you, you yourself are dependent on you. So come on, get up, start thinking strategically, improve yourself, get ahead of the curve, hit the subscribe button, press the bell icon. I'd love to hear in the comment section, what is it that you are doing for yourself right now to stay positive and get ahead? Come on, guys. Let's do this together, yeah? All right. Who's with me? Comment in the section below. Yalla. Take care, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.